When I begin any of my talks about any of our software solutions, I always put it in context. And so the US Constitution does not mandate open sessions, but the House of Representatives opened its doors to the public starting in April of 1789. Since those first meetings, the House has been preparing. We prepare, manage, distribute, and preserve our official proceedings and documents. Like it was in the beginning days of the House, the paper document is still the official document of record. In the past, the tasks relating to preparing, managing, distributing, and preserving the House's official documents were confined to paper only. Today, these tasks, including managing the electronic rendition of the paper record and any accompanying data, as well as making those documents available online. So this is our live.house.gov website, where we can watch the House floor proceedings and find links to the legislative text that's being debated. So no longer do our citizens need to come to Washington, D.C. to watch Congress in session. For years now, we have had the ability to watch either on TV or on the computer. To this day, we continue to add a modern digital layer to a centuries-old paper process. And I'd like to use this slide to illustrate some of the paper process we have. As I explained in the previous panel, our officials in the House and the Senate and our president do need to sign that official document in order for it to become law. And so in these presentation cases, you can see the different sizes of our legislation and our bills. This one over here with Mr. Biden is just a single page bill. This blue presentation case is a bill that's closer to 1,500 pages. And here is just the page that Speaker Pelosi needs to sign just right here in a case for her to do that. You can see that this bill over here that Mr. Bush is signing is about 50 pages. And then this bill actually is in 2 presentation cases right here. So it illustrates the size of our legislative text. You can also see the number of pens that they use to sign their name. Those are little things that they often like to give away when they sign the bills into law. So when we think about this paper process, that traditional paper process, prior to the pandemic, prior to the e-hopper, members submitted bill proposals, or what we call bill introductions, into this traditional wooden box in the House chamber. It is still there today and can be used by members. We have clerks who staff the box and retrieve the paper submissions. However, in April of 2020, the Speaker of the House directed our office to create an electronic submission process. And over the course of 3 days, we did that. We created the procedures and process for submissions and stood up a secure email solution so members and their staff could email their bills to our office so we could process it. It was a simple email solution. Since April of 2020, the secure email solution has become an integral part to House operations and is the primary means in which members submit bills and resolutions. Again, the solution was simple, and we always knew we wanted to do more, so we did. So this spring, we introduced the second version, or the second edition of the e-hopper. So instead of having members and their staff submit simple emails, we created a guided web solution for them. The landing page looks like this, and we have a back-end process that allows our clerks to tell whether the hopper is open or not. So this traditional physical hopper is only hangs here, is only available when the House is meeting. So it is available 15 minutes before the House is in session, and it is available then it's available all through the time that the House is in session, and it's removed from the chamber, from the rostrum, 15 minutes after the House adjourns. So we needed to keep the e-hopper, the electronic version of that wooden box, open and available during the same time frame. So we have a mechanism for our staff to mirror that. So this is what it looks like when the e-hopper is open, and staff can come in here and log in and make a submission. And we also have, this is what it looks like when it's closed. And staff can log in, do the guided submission when it's closed, and their submission will be saved, and then they can submit it when the e-hopper is open. So these are our landing pages for that website, the opened and the closed. And then once a staff member logs in, they can start, there's 5 steps, only 5 steps, to submit a bill on behalf of their member. So this is an introduce a bill workflow. They would put the name of their bill or resolution here, so we would know what it is. The bill hasn't been assigned a bill number because that's the processing our clerks need to do, is assign a bill number to it. They would take a PDF that they have received from our House Office of Legislative Counsel, and they would upload that bill text here so that it could be processed by our bill clerks. After they do those 5 steps, we have some other documents that need to accompany it, whether they have, whether the sponsor, the primary member who's introduced the bill has secured co-sponsors, or what we call them co-sponsors, but you can think of them as additional sponsors to the bill. They also have to submit a constitutional authority statement, so point to the place in our Constitution that gives them the authority to introduce this piece of legislation. And if the member hasn't signed each document, then the staff needs to upload a staff authorization form saying that they are authorized to submit this legislation on behalf of their member. They see a submission summary of their submission and the questions that they answered, and they can preview their documents to do another check to make sure they uploaded the correct documents, and then they can hit submit here, and that will create the submission package, and it will send it to our bill clerks, and our bill clerks will process it. And the main thing that they're doing when they process it is to assign a bill number to it. And they also, at this time, our speaker will refer the bills to committee. So we also, if this bill is being referred to committees, they will also affix the committee referral onto the bill. Then we send the bill over to our government publishing office for official printing. So this is the submission process. And this is what I wanted to show you all today. And my question to you is, which one would you use? Would you spend 15 or 20 minutes walking from your office if you were a member of the House to submit it into this paper box, or in the paper into this box, or would you use a modern e-hopper system?